Hi, Rich Carrubba for bowlingball.com. What's the ideal bowling ball speed? We get asked that question all the time. Simply speaking, if you follow the guidelines provided by the manufacturers and the United States Bowling Congress, which of course is the sanctioning body for all of bowling, and their recent ball motion studies regarding optimum speed, a bowling ball delivered with an average velocity of about 17 miles per hour and measured at impact with the pins, or about 21 miles per hour when it's released at the foul line, plus or minus a mile an hour, is the general range. If we use pro bowlers as an example for ball speed measurements, we find the bowlers delivering a ball less than 16 miles in impact not very frequent. And we find that the pins are not as effective in pin carry when the ball is delivered too slowly. And it doesn't generate a consistent ball motion because the balls are so aggressive today, they'll grab the lane and kind of react at different, less than predictable points as the ball travels down the lane. So maintaining between 17 and 19 miles an hour is a great speed range. Most pro bowlers will release the ball 20 to 22 miles an hour, and they'll hit 17 or 18 miles an hour at impact with the pins. If you can do that, if you can get up to that speed, then all the bowling balls you select will react real consistent and real true on most every lane condition. Now, if you deliver a ball too fast, the danger is you get less than optimum pin carry. They're round objects. If the pins jump up too high, you see kids throwing the ball supersonic speed, showing off in open play with their girlfriends. We've all seen that happen. You don't get real good pin carry. Those pins will jump too high, and the widest part is down around the middle part of the pin, about 4.5 inches off the floor. So you want the pins to stay kind of low so they knock their pins nearby over much easier. Typically, it takes about 2.5 seconds for a ball to get down the lane, plus or minus 0.15 seconds. That's right. 2.5 seconds will give you that instantaneous velocity of about 16.5, 17 miles an hour. So it should be pointed out that elapsed time varies in accordance with several different common factors. And lane conditions is one of them. The amount of oil on the lane, or not oil. Less oil, more friction, that'll slow your ball down. More oil, ball skids easier, it'll pick up a little bit of speed, and you'll think you're throwing it a little faster, even though you release the same ball speed when it comes off your hand. Now, of course, the cover stock of the bowling ball, the surface texture, makes a difference too, doesn't it? If you have a real grit texture, a heavy texture for heavy oil, that ball is going to grab the lane quicker than a ball that's pearlized and highly polished. That's going to slide easier. And of course, the amount the ball hooks on the surface of the lane determines the overall speed, average speed of the ball, because the more it hooks, the more time it's on the lane surface. A straighter line, the ball, even though delivered at the same speed, is going to have the effect of having more ball speed and impact at the pins. Now, if a lane has heavy oil application, you might want to consider a couple of miles an hour differently. If your ball's sliding too far, you might want to cut back your launch velocity just a little bit, the speed you release the ball. Just a little bit, but not a lot, then that'll compensate for it. If the lanes are very dry, then of course you want to pick up speed. So you might want to check with your coach on how to do those techniques. The cover stocks, well, you can change them. You can use these Abralon grit pads, and you can texture them differently to a very fine surface texture to help increase the slide, perhaps add polish. If the lanes are dry, if they're very oily, and you need the ball to slide less, then you can use a heavier grit texture pad and make that ball, on the surface of the ball, a little more highly textured to adhere to the surface and help fight that oil. Now, a power player with a high rev rate and a good deal of axis hook, he's going to hook the ball a lot more than a down the boards player, won't he? Of course. So if they both throw the ball at the same speed, that ball that's hooking a great deal, covering a lot more boards, will take slightly longer to arrive at the pins. That bowler will have a little advantage in the strong angle of entry to help pin carry, but a little less advantage in that the ball speed is a little slower. That's why you see the power players throw it pretty hard. They're covering a lot of boards, and you see a player to go straight down the lane, maybe releasing the ball a little less speed. They might both impact the pins at the same amount of elapsed time because the straighter path gets to the pocket a little bit more quickly. All that being said, it's a little tricky sometimes during competition, so the one thing that you can do is to control your ball speed. That'll really help you a lot. Work on techniques to get regulated ball speed so you get a dependable ball motion, and you can practice that in the times that you're on the lanes in practice sessions, and adjust your speed either up or down a little bit so you get real good at doing that and you're not afraid to trying to achieve the ideal bowling ball speed when you're in competition. Hope these tips help you. Thanks.